This infraction has to do with some under recoveries that you needed to have made in respect of the digital golf platform, that you were required to receive an amount of 12% of net revenue that is generated from that. But we only paid 7%. But in your responses to the auditors, you indicated that you've written a letter to the ministry asking for a document that revised your amount from 12% to 7%, which means you agreed to the 7%. Have you received that letter?
No, please.
So what steps are you taking to recover the 5% difference?
We have written a brief to the ministry, that's our ministry, to intervene on our behalf.
But the letter that you wrote indicated that there is a change in the decision of the agency sharing ratio of 12% to 7%. That means you are privy to that, because if you write that and that is your response to the auditors.
No, this was the audit finding that instead of the 12%, 7% was being paid. And in fact, there are two contracts. If you come to the agency, there are two contracts, one with the 12% and the other with the 7%, signed by the Director General. And we are yet to be convinced that there was actually a formal change from the 12% to the 7%. We haven't received any supporting document yet.
So, are you telling me that there are two contracts subsisting for one particular contract? Two documents for one particular contract?
Yes, please.
So which one comes earlier? The 12% or the 7%?
Please, both signed on same date.
For the same thing?
Yes, please.
Auditors, did you cite these two documents signed on the same date?
Honorable Chair, we cited only one.
Anita, did you show the two documents to the auditors?
Honorable Chair, yes, there were two documents at that time. My understanding was that the initial 12% was, in fact, we were receiving 12% for close to 1.5 years. Then later, it changed to 7%.
So it means the documents were not signed on the same date. And do you think two documents can be signed on the same date with different percentages of revenue sharing in that document?
Madam Chair, we can give you the documents. What I have seen, both documents were signed on the same day.
Can we get copies of that, please?
Yes.
Honorable Minister, that should tell you there's something cooking at that ministry. Something really, really serious.
That is why I said we refer everything to the AG to advise. Because we are not.
So, do you have copies of the contracts here?
You can tell them to let us have it now. They should bring it.
No, please.
No,
but we can get them to you by.
We need you to furnish a committee with
you.
those two contracts. Because how can you sign two contracts at two different rates the same day?
Cheers. Nita, you see, in your response, and the observations of the auditors were that you are now seeking for a document that revised the percentage from 12 to 7. So it meant that you actually did not have the document, per what the auditors wrote, unless the auditors are not telling us the truth, which they are. But for you to tell me that you had 2 documents signed on the same date with different percentages, this cannot be the observations that the auditors had. And if you indeed had it, you would have given it to them.
No, what they are looking for is not the 2 contracts. What they are looking for is the fact that there was an earlier response that the 2 parties had a meeting and had decided to revise it from 12% to 7%. So we wanted a proof that such a meeting was held, for example, 2 minutes or any other correspondence, to support the fact that there was a formal change or revision of the 12% to the 7%. That is the kind of document is being referred to, and that had not been received yet.
Did you read the report and the infractions that you were coming to answer to?
Yes, please.
And did you read the portion that stated management's response to the infraction?
Yes, please.
And what does it say? Paragraph 1481. It says that management responded that the agency has written to the Ministry of Finance and the Digital Gov via a letter of September 27, 2024, requesting for official documents that indicates the decision to change the agency sharing ratio from 12 to 7%. However, the agency is yet to receive a response. And if you have a document, 2, that you say you cited, it would obviously tell you that 12% is here and 7%. So what document are you going to look for again?
Please, if I can read it again. Management responded that the agency had written to the Ministry of Finance and the Digital Gov via letter number of 27 September 2024, requesting for official documents. This is not, we are not talking about the contracts, official documents. The 7%, the 12% is on the surface of the contracts. That is not what we are requesting for. That was signed between NITA and Digital Gov. That is a consortium. But the negotiation that NITA should be given 12% or 7% was done between Digital Gov, Ministry of Finance, and the Ministry of Communications. That meeting, the documents that arose from those meetings were the ones that management was looking for to support the fact that indeed there was a revision from 12% to 7%.
Nita, wait. What is more official than the contract that you signed to? The discussions that you have prior to the signing of the contract are not official documents. You are telling us here that you have cited 2 documents. One is 12, one is 7%. So what official documents are you again requesting for? Meeting notes, minutes.
So that is where the source of controversy as to whether they should pay the 12% or the 7% is arising from. Because if you write a demand notice to Digital Gov that they are paying 7% instead of 12%, they will show you the 7% contract.
Hello.
The auditors are also looking at a 12% contract. In fact, from briefings from my head of finance, the auditors were shown both the 12% and 7%, and they decided to take the 12%.
Nita, Director General, let me avert your mind on oath. Let me remind you, you are under oath. Whatever information you are giving this committee will be taken seriously. So let me avert your mind that you are under oath once again.
Yes,
because, and then you claim you have 2 contracts. You are under oath, so you furnish this committee with both documents.
Yes, please.
Auditors, did you cite 2 contracts?
No, Honorable Chair, as I indicated earlier on, we cited the one with the 12%. And from my brief they actually started receiving the 12%, and then at a point it revised to 7%. So we wanted proof for that. We needed documentation to support that. And that is what we have not been given as we speak.
Clerk, take note of this issue out here. It's very serious, and we'll follow up on it.
What is your take on this? Share your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget, this is news on WIDERmedia. Stay tuned for more news.